Tune into Valley News Live now on Facebook, YouTube, or the VNL app every Thursday at 1 p.m. to help us honor those who served and the people who support them.
Hi, I'm Jessie Ammett, and I'm with Jason Hicks today, and we are doing our segment, Valley Veterans, every Thursday at 1. And today we've got a very special guest, Dan Hudson. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you for having me so much, both Jason and Jessie.
Well, we love having you, and he does Operation Check 6. So I'm going to kind of let you take it over, I think, Dan. I'd love to hear you explain a little bit about your organization, and then I know you've got some cool announcements as well.
We do, yes. We started and became a 501c3 in March of 2021. So we're fairly new, but in that short period of time, we've grown crazily to the point where we probably tripled in size of our board members and people participating in our organization. Our primary mission is to help veterans, first responders, and their families who have either participating in or completed some form of therapy who are healing from trauma. And what we like to do is grab those stories from them and turn them into songs. And it's been one of the most rewarding things I think I've ever done in my life. And I wish it was my idea, but it wasn't. It was my wife's.
I kind of love that you give her credit for that, though, too. That's pretty good. That's good points for good husband points right there. Well, tell us some more about this. How do you even begin that kind of a process? It sounds amazing.
It was the first song we ever did was really by happenstance. I am a mentor at the VA hospital and on their Warriors in the North advisory board. And they were having an event at the YEMCOMPS, and I had announced that this was our goal and maybe even expand it further. And while I was sitting there, a fellow veteran of mine had texted me a poem. And the poem honestly hit me in the gut because it was about something I had dealt with in my career, as Jason probably attests to as well. But as a law enforcement officer, you rarely get much closure. It's going from call to call unless you're assigned a certain division. Well, this poem happened to be about surviving sexual trauma. So I worked with the veteran, and she and I came up with some lyrics from that poem. And I just put it out on social media looking for an artist who could maybe assist us in taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, Alyssa Ruffin picked it up, put a melody and music to it, got it produced, and it ended up being nominated for Independent Pop Country Single of the Year in, I believe it was 2021.
That's pretty crazy.
It was completely crazy. And to take it a step further, the singer came forward and had this courage to say, you know what, I am also a survivor. Some of the band members, it was an all-female band. It was the female singer, female producer, and one after the next were coming forward in this courageous, bold move to say, you know what, I was too. And being married for 24 years, I know when to keep my mouth shut and my ears open. And I learned more in that process and was touched so much that it changed my life.
Wow. And that's an unbelievable story. I always get this way with both of you guys where I just don't even have any words because the work you do is so incredible. It changes lives. It's really amazing, Dan.
It's so heartwarming. And in the nonprofit world, it's like, well, this is a sign, so let's continue forward. And this was all going on during COVID. So it's like, boy, we have this huge hurdle, but it didn't stop us. It made us stronger. And we just started working with local veterans, grabbing stories, meeting with them one-on-one, and the interest really sparked. And I think we caught the attention of some of the local nonprofits that are out there doing such valuable things that we can partner with and support. And it's just been a real blessing. For me, it's been great for me. I've been forced to learn 2 instruments that I hadn't picked up in years, so
Right.
It's been good.
Oh, awesome. If you want to tell us a little bit about the events that you have that you put on for people.
Absolutely. we love to perform. It's not our primary mission, but it's a way to get our message out and show people. We're a nonprofit of action, like many other valuable nonprofits. We like to tell people what we do, but then we show them. So some of the events we do go out to local veterans' homes and perform for them.
Wow.
We would like to do a Christmas concert for one of the facilities, and
You're
we have
kidding.
an
That's
event out-
amazing.
It's so amazing, and there's a new initiative coming just out of that we can touch on in a bit. Another event we have is kind of our crown jewel, which is a honor fest, which we do out at our home. It's a 40-acre farmstead by Lake Park, Minnesota.
Wow.
We have a stage, and we have the veterans showcase their songs, or maybe if they don't want to perform, we will play the song for them. Or if the song, they don't want it shared, it's theirs. It's not ours, it's theirs. We're here to help.
That's
And then also, his group came and performed for Memorial Day. We,
Oh,
We
nice.
changed it up last year a little bit different from what historically is Memorial Day, and we wanted to make it a time of celebration.
cool.
And his band came out and played, and we grilled hot dogs and had a great time. And we're going to hit him up again next year for the same
ready.
venue and same thing. So it went
We're
it went
ready.
over great though. We had a good crowd, and a lot of people kind of gave me a hard time about having, something like that on Memorial Day. And I said, and that's fine. We're looking to do something different, and
Yeah.
it shouldn't be all. It should be a celebration of life. It shouldn't be all gloom
Definitely.
and doom and
Yeah.
bad. So it was
love
great having
that.
Dan's guys out there. Personally, I thought we should have called it the Dan Band, but he said no, it's Operation Check 6. So Just my
that's funny
thought.
It's funny you bring that up, because I take no credit for any of this. I see this as a chain, and each individual person that participates in this is a link, and no link is more important than the next. Everybody has their own area of expertise, and I'm just one of those links, and without a link, you don't have a chain anymore. It gets broken. And Rolog, too. We got to perform at Rolog, and that
Yep.
was absolutely amazing.
Oh, maybe let's talk about that a little bit. I get to be out there for just a little while, but you
Yep.
guys were kind of out there the whole
they
time.
were out there the entire time.
Yeah. So tell me about
and
some of
playing.
those experiences.
This was interesting because we have performers that will come and go. Some of them live a ways away, but the core group of people, we played for probably 6 or 7 hours a day, and
Wow.
it didn't even seem like it. And in front of us was the Mobile Vietnam Memorial, and I remember one of our performers playing. After about the 4th hour, he turned around and he goes, I don't know, it just hit me. I've been staring at this wall all day, and I was singing this song, and now I know. He got choked up, and it was so profound. And the people that would come up, we'd throw them a tambourine, they'd play along with us, or they'd come and sing a song that they knew. It's so rewarding to have the community involved in this. I think it educates them, it helps us individually, and it shows the veterans, hey, we're here for you. Participate if you care to. Share your story with us. We're here for you.
And there's so much healing that happens in that, and with the music, I know that's one of your core beliefs, I guess I'll say, that that the music is such a therapeutic tool to help people deal with some of that trauma.
100% the music is therapeutic. You don't even need to speak the language of music or even be a musician to appreciate it. You could listen to a Spanish lullaby and not know Spanish and think it's beautiful, and it may have a profound effect on you. There are definitely healing aspects to music, but also the writing process, getting those intrusive thoughts out on paper and confronting them, dealing with them, and taking some of the ugly that maybe haunts a person and turn it into something beautiful.
But that, I mean, that's really a lot what you said there too about being able to get
Right.
those things out. I think bringing light to those, like you said, those intrusive thoughts, those ugly things. For some reason, when you bring it to the light, it feels like you're able to let it go in a way.
It is, and we do rely on each other quite a bit, because some of the stories, not everything is doom and gloom. There are some sad stories of the nature of what we're dealing with, and sometimes it's tragedy, sometimes it's even comedy. And we do rely on each other to talk through these things, and it's very helpful for my group. My group is we're not therapists, we're just here to help. and listen, and we can refer you to a professional. But it can take a toll after a while, and we have to set our egos aside and say, you know what, this song really, really hit me hard. And we talk about it, and we draw from that energy, and we turn it around.
Wow, a lot of healing going on in multiple areas. So I know you've got some maybe big announcements too that you didn't even tell Jason about.
I know. I like to keep secrets from Jason.
That's all right.
I will tell you, with our newest initiative, I'm out of catchy names. I came up with Operation Check 6 when I woke up one morning. So we have an initiative where we are going to be interviewing veterans at a variety of facilities. They're voluntarily doing this. We are going to record those interviews and potentially make songs from them. But we wanted to take it a step further. I think back to something my parents said when my grandparents were alive, when they would talk about their past. It was, gosh, we should have had a recorder going. What we would like to do is, free of charge, provide that interview and recording to the family, if they wish, and the veteran. And as recently as last night, speaking with a very dear friend of ours, they came up with a brilliant idea where she said, why don't we take all of these stories and make an anthology of this into a book of these stories? Because these are firsthand accounts, and this is our true history, unbiased, from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I'm sure you can talk to Jason about what that, what that means to you. You guys who have lived these stories, to be able to put that down in song, put it down in paper, and live on.
No, for sure. I mean, like Dan said, the firsthand experience that is lost. I mean, I wish to this day that I would have been recording stuff that, like my wife's grandpa said, my grandpa said, my uncles, things like that, for their military service and what they went through, because it corresponds, what they went through back in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, still corresponds today. The same BS applies everywhere you go. Some things are different, the language is different, things like that, but a lot of things are the same, and they haven't changed. And it's just really, I wish I would have recorded more. But being a kid, you don't think about that kind of thing. And
you kind of hear those stories again and again, and you think, oh, okay,
here we go.
But then all of a sudden they're gone.
You miss it. Yep.
And you're like, why, I don't remember this little detail or that little detail, and it's so important to have those. So it's so cool what you're doing, Dan.
Yes.
It's such a blessing and an honor, and that's the way my entire group sees this, is thank you to those who are going to participate and who have facilitated this, because it's a huge responsibility, and it's an incredible honor to do this, to preserve this forever, instead of, like you just described, you miss bits and pieces because we all live our lives. Here it is them telling the story, and I can't think of a better gift or anything more valuable, and I wish I would have had it growing up as well.
But you're doing it now, and that's what's important, making a difference, doing it now.
We're doing it now, and we couldn't be happier. And one of our members, I can't keep up with her. Bless her heart. She's got a voice of an angel, and her heart is so large, and she is just willing to go the extra mile. All of us are, but she puts in so much time and effort, and her family. So I always like to thank the spouses, and include the families as much as possible. So to participate with us, you don't need to play an instrument. Maybe you want to sing, maybe you don't. That's our other little announcement. We're going to really try very hard in our fundraising campaigns and other sources to get ourselves a mobile studio so we can go to some of these homebound veterans instead of having them trying to get to us. We want to be able to be mobile. We want to be able to record them, have them tell us their stories, and have us capture them forever.
Okay, wow, that's a big
amazing
goal and very amazing. Yeah, what an amazing thing. So how do people give? Somebody's listening and they're like, okay, I have no musical talent, but wow, I want to make this happen, the mobile studio happen. How do we get in touch with you? How do people give?
We have, I'm no social media expert, but we do have a web page, operationcheck6.org, And we have an active Facebook page as well, where we do post pictures and videos of events. And we also have a YouTube page that has some of our veteran performers, and they're from across different generations, from Vietnam to the Iraq War, Afghanistan. And these have been professionally produced, not by our crew. However, that is something we're learning, and we fully intend on being able to do that in the next year. Surprise.
This is a lot of work. I mean, I
is a
just,
lot of
when I think of everything, how can I ask, how do you fund this?
Well, we honestly, being involved in music, we had a lot of personal equipment, so a lot of it is personally funded. I make some laser art things and sell it to fund it, and then a lot of it comes from sponsorship, donors, and we've recently had the blessing of someone volunteering to write some grants for us. So the music writing, if you think about it, it costs time and maybe some gas money. And that is insignificant when you look at the big picture. When it comes to mobile studios, that requires some serious fundraising, and it's something we would build. We have the equipment already. We just need the mode of transportation.
And you're so humble. I mean, you know, when you say it just costs time and a little bit of gas, but I'm going to stop you there and say, I mean, your time is worth a lot. And what you're giving is a huge sacrifice. And I know it, you know, you would probably say, or you probably will say that it isn't. It's what I want to do when I want to give back. But it is very, very valuable. Anytime you see volunteers that put a number on those volunteer hours, it's extraordinary what that adds up to be. And so thank you for all of that. It's an honor, and we're very blessed to have like-minded people on our board of directors and those that participate. And this is a two-way street. Helping the veterans, but helping the veterans also helps us. A lot of us are trauma survivors, have experience in it. Not all of us are veterans, but quite frankly, it becomes irrelevant because at some point the family served, or they serve veterans in some capacity, or they're family members of veterans and or first responders. And again, I go back to the chain analogy. Everybody's got a link, and without that one link being there, you have a broken chain. So to me, it's helped me with personally, professionally, and it honestly warms my heart every day. I get up in the morning and I look forward to the next challenge, and my ideas that sometimes get quashed because I have big lofty goals, but that's not going to stop me. That's awesome. I was kind of making Jason be the only one on the camera there for a minute.
She saw the side glance. Like, I would like to expand a little bit on what Dan had been saying about how it's not about me linking the chain. You know, we're all equally important, and that's why I think that's why me and him get along so well, because our mindset is very much the same. It's not about us; it's about the others, and we're there to help and facilitate and move things along. And I really believe in that analogy that like-minded people are the ones that get things done. It you know, you can have your disagreements and everything in between, but at the end of the day, we're all focused on the same thing. We're all focused for our veterans and our first responders and the families. I can't say enough about the families behind both professions, having been in both professions. You know, my wife has been with me through the thick and thin and some of the worst times in our lives, and she's always there. And a lot of people don't see that the toll it takes on them. I mean, I left her with 3 little kids on an overseas deployment, and you know, 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And you know, granted, I was an adult babysitter for the people that I had, but it just, the families are so important to us, and what they mean and what they've gone through, it's important. And I'm so happy that Dan pointed that out, that's just important as the ones that actually serve, because they're there and they have to deal with you when you get home after your long shift of doing whatever. And it's really important to acknowledge that, and it's nice that he has addressed that, and what he does is just incredible.
It is, and
I can't say enough about him.
You're so right that it, the spouses too. There's so much involved with the spouses and the families. But again, you guys are so humble that you always give it back to somebody else.
It's interesting you bring it up because I watched. I'm a podcast junkie. I listen and I watch quite a bit, and um, I conduct training sessions for law enforcement now on surviving personal trauma, and I was watching another individual who does something similar, and he does have the spouses stand up, and he brought up a really good point that I missed, and my wife actually brought one up too. He brings up the spouses, he brings up the children, and how we start sometimes talking to them like we talk to people at work, and we do have a tough time shutting it off, and it's identifying that and getting it corrected. But this whole organization, and why I start out giving credit to my wife, was after my about 50th time giving my trauma presentation, she watched it and she said, "It's great, but you're missing something." And I'm like, "I am, huh? Okay." And she goes, "You're forgetting about the middle." And I had no idea what she's talking about. She goes, "You live your life with your work family, you live your life with your family, but you forget about the person you are in the middle, your passions, your loves, your hobbies. Oftentimes those get set aside, and it doesn't matter what color you are, what gender you are, however you identify, it can happen." And she was 100% right, and it was a huge hole in what I was trying to convey in the trainings that I do. And that's how this developed. This is my passion. This is me living in the middle, and I'm so lucky to be able to do it and have a spouse that listened and identified it, and a very forgiving son.
Yes.
Well, it is so cool that she noticed that and that you were receptive, to hearing that you're right. I did forget a little bit about some of the things that I love, and look at what a gift it's turned into.
100% a gift. And without that advice and learning to, after 24 years of marriage, learning to listen more than talk sometimes, it's probably one of the best gifts she's ever given me is my life back.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. Just wow. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions, Jason, for Dan before we let him go back to his life?
You just know that you have our undying support with the Honor Guard on what you do, and we're always there to help you get the word out on what you do. Always. You know that.
Well, we collectively, we had a chat last night. We appreciate both of you. We appreciate Valley Veterans getting the word out, helping the people understand veterans and maybe some of the challenges that they face. And I think it's invaluable. So thank you both for what you do.
Oh, thank you so much, Dan, too. I mean, that's our goal here with Valley Veterans is that we want to honor our veterans, we want to serve them, we want to highlight resources that are available and connect, be that connecting piece that's there for them, because, if it wasn't for our veterans, our first responders, we wouldn't have the amazing country that we have. It doesn't matter what your political views are. We all have to and need to remember to honor and serve our veterans.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to force Jason to be on camera one more time. This is great. I can just cut myself out.
This is not great.
But thank you, Dan. We're gonna show your website and your Facebook page too to help spread the word. But I would just encourage anybody, if you're thinking you would like to help out, but you don't know how, money. Money's always good. And
Money's always good.
To
Yes,
help
money
you
is
get
great.
that, money's good.
Yep.
That mobile studio to be able to see homebound veterans, I mean, that's life changing to be able to do that.
I'm already running ideas through my head, Dan, on how we're going to make that happen. And I have a few connections, so we could, I think we can make that a reality pretty decently.
That's awesome.
I think it would be an amazing project, and we want to expand that to the community as well, and be able to do performances out of that, and really show the community what we're all about, what the veterans are all about, and the community has been so supportive of us. I'm so humbled by the support the community's already given us, time, talent, and treasure.
Yeah, we're very fortunate in the area of our country that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
The Midwest is very supportive of the military and first responders.
Good.
And it just goes hand in hand. It's a glove on your hand. I mean, it just fits so perfect that it's a great thing that Dan does.
Yeah.
Yes, and I believe we have one of the largest, if not the largest, population of veterans in the United States.
I
here
believe
and
you're correct.
identified by San Diego.
Yep. Yep, I would agree.
Well, thank you again, Dan. Thank you so much. We'll let you go and make sure we show the website and the Facebook, but we just can't thank you enough for what you do. And you have, our support as well from Valley Veterans and KVOY. We just appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Jason and Jesse, for having me. It's been an honor.
Awesome.
You bet, buddy.
Thanks, Dan. Oh, that was so great having Dan. Dan from Check 6. All right, I'm going to go to the website. I'm really jealous of his setup there. It was
Isn't
really
that
cool.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was.
Yeah, I'm amazed too.
Okay, so we're going to go over and check out Fargo Memorial Honor Guard. I hope you're starting to realize that this is your place for all the events that are happening. So, do you want to drive or do you want me to drive?
You better drive the mouse, but I'll talk about it a little
Okay,
bit.
perfect.
One of our posts on there, we're thanking beverage wholesalers about the donations they've given for breast cancer awareness. And unknown to a lot of people, beverage wholesalers are huge supporters of our veteran community.
Oh, wow.
They don't often get an acknowledgement about it, but they are just great people. And
Awesome.
we can't thank them enough. They do a special thing around the holidays that I'm not going to let out until later, but they're always just wonderful to work for. So we very much want to share everything that they do.
Yeah, we want to shout that out because we just believe in giving back to the community, and it's really great to highlight those businesses.
You bet.
Awesome.
And
Okay, and then this is tonight.
tonight at the downtown Radisson, they're having a fundraiser for the Brady Oberg Foundation, the Legacy Foundation. And I can't say enough about this organization. They specifically go after combat-related PTSD and supporting veterans. And they're a great family. They're local, and they just do absolutely great things for our area.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, one of our segments of our show is going to be about the Brady Oberg
Yep.
Foundation. Once we kind of figure out what we're doing here with the show, we're still kind of new at this, so
Yep.
bear with
Bear
us.
with us.
And me and Tom are very much amateurs, and we have the professional here that knows everything. But we will definitely have them on. But they're doing a fundraiser tonight. Doors open at 4, open till 6 at the downtown Radisson Brady Oberg Legacy Foundation. And they're just wonderful people.
They really are.
They do a great thing.
And I'm hoping to get to talk to, like you said, we're going to feature them, but I'm hoping to get to talk to Tracy, and that's Brady's sister. Is that correct?
Yep, she's Brady's sister.
Yeah, and so
And my neighbor.
and your neighbor.
Yep.
There you go. Poor Tracy.
But I will see her tonight, and I'm going to get that all set up anyway.
Yeah, and I talked to Lisa from Ramada from Radisson Blue downtown earlier this week, and there's a lot going on. So from 4 to 6, they've got appetizers and beverages, and you get to tour, and then of course the money's going to the Brady Oberg Legacy Foundation. So sounds like a good reason to sneak out of work a little bit early.
Right.
Okay, let's see what else. So FargoMemorialHonorGuard.org. This is where you can check out everything, and like I said, hopefully, this was okay. So
yes.
yes, a little follow up.
Yes. So the local fraternity, Theta Chi, did a fundraiser, the haunted house, and they pulled in $2,700 for the USO. So they
Nice.
doubled last year's.
Ooh, really?
It's awesome. Yeah, and it's for the USO. I mean, how can you not?
Right,
like that,
support
you know?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know we talked to them a little bit, and there is a trophy involved in what
Yes.
Theta Chi chapter does the most fundraising, most volunteer hours, all of those things. So hopefully we got them a good start on that trophy.
We're going to get them a good start, and with their volunteer opportunities that we're going to have for them, we'll get them bumped up on the hours too.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
You're going to put them to work. That's a
Yep.
fancy way of saying we're putting them to work.
Here's another thing on our Facebook
Yeah.
page that Bison tickets. For the longest time, it was strictly for veterans. Well, I talked to Elena a couple weeks ago, and they've opened it now to first responders as well. And
Wow.
it was a direct correlation with the shooting that happened in Fargo.
Okay.
And she thought, let's get the first responders on there too. So now this is open to veterans and first responders. And the important thing is you have to be registered on the Bison website for tickets, and then she
Okay.
literally just transfers them over to you. You don't have to pay anything.
nice.
They're free tickets.
Right.
But to make things easier on her,
Yep.
please sign up. And it's a pretty simple process once you get signed up.
Okay. So do you go to Facebook? How do you get signed up exactly?
It's It's like Ticketmaster, but for the bison.
Okay,
I can't
okay.
think of what it's called off the top. of my
Okay.
head.
So check out the Facebook page, follow the links, or call Elena.
And she'll
that'll
walk
probably
you
be
through
the
it.
best. Oh, perfect. Let's do
Much
that.
much better than I can. Another thing I'd like to address our sponsor.
Yes.
Cashway had us. We actually got to go to their facility.
That was fun.
Which was like, wow.
Yeah.
Floor to ceiling food, and they do so much in the area that people don't really know about them.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually got to sit down and meet with the, what was he, the manager of operations? Is that what his title
I
was?
believe so, Richard.
Richard. And they have a great facility there and even a kitchen, and we might be doing a show from there.
It
We'll
does
see.
sound like we're going to
It's-
do a show
it's-
from Cashway.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's like
It
a
is.
full-blown kitchen, and I think we can really expand on Tom's time as a cook in the Navy. And, no, I'm just
To be
kidding.
making us some SOS there?
SOS
Oh,
there
okay.
and whatever else. Yeah. And I just think it'd be a lot of fun, but it was great to actually sit down
Yep.
with our sponsors and show them how thankful we are to have this platform, because
It
I mean,
was.
it was great.
It
First
was.
class all the way.
Yeah,
Just
and they were
wonderful.
super supportive.
Right.
So we'll be reaching out soon. A
We
little
even
bit more,
had
Richard.
jackets that said VIP. I don't consider myself a VIP, but I wore the jacket.
Well,
And,
I mean, if we have
it
to
was-
wear the jacket,
Yeah,
we do.
but
I have
it,
some pictures from that day, so I'll
was
post
pretty
those
neat.
later
It was
today.
really neat.
Yeah, thanks to Cashway and to Richard for doing that. And then on our Facebook page again, or not ours, but Check Six. So Operation Check Six
Yep.
on Facebook. You can check out what they're all about to see more of Dan and what he's doing. So this was so great. This was in Rolog. So you can see more of his events too. I'm sure underneath events here, there's probably more.
Yep. And he needs a lot more followers.
Yes.
Because they need
so
the support.
So this is what you're going to do. You can go there and you're going to click like.
Yep.
And then their website as well, you can check out what they're doing here. So you can get in touch, donate, their YouTube channel.
For the people out there that don't understand the Operation Check 6, what that means in military speak,
Yeah.
you're checking your 6. That means your back. We've got your back. Your 6
that's
is
cool.
always your back.
Okay.
So
that's where that
that's
came
the whole
from.
genesis of that. And
Oh, that's awesome.
it's very common. It's very common in the military vernacular, but not everyone knows that. So
Right. Yeah, I'm glad you cleared that up for us who don't know. I'm going to go over to their website one more time. I just kind of want to see if we can go to their YouTube channel, because he mentioned some performances there. So I kind of like to show everybody. Yeah, so you can see right here, Dan Hudson, Operation Check 6. Looks like they've got some of their performances
There's
up, so you
one
can watch
simple
that
hearing
too. Of
hack
course, you got to
anyone
get
can
through
use
the
to improve their
through the ad, which I'm going to shut off for a second while we finish up. But you can check out Dan Hudson on Facebook, on their YouTube channel,
and the website.
and their website. Yeah, Operation Check 6.
Operation
so
Check
that's
6.
great. I love that. They've got your back.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay, anything we forgot about today?
Not that I'm aware of. Let me back up. There is one thing that is going to be for our next week's show that's
Okay.
available on the 8th of November at the Super Buffet. They are offering a meal for veterans from 11 to 9.
Oh, wow, on the 8th. So a little early.
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
So, and the reason he does that is because he knows the owner of the Super Buffet has been a huge supporter of veterans in the area. Like Vietnam veterans have their meetings there, DAV, etc.
Oh, wow.
He wanted to be able to thank the veterans before Veterans Day, because Veterans Day is quite honestly a busy holiday for us,
yeah.
and we're going to a lot of different places. So he wanted to specifically make it even that much easier, so people could go there and have a nice meal.
That's
and they do
really
it.
cool.
Yeah, it's
So
great
November
support.
8th, and what are
November
the times
8th,
again?
11 to 9,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's on our Facebook page
Okay.
as well. Tom
All
had
right.
shared it,
Perfect. I'll
and
go there as well.
it's just it's a great thing. It's really good.
Let's see if we can find it really fast.
He said he did. He
All
showed
right.
me a picture.
Oh, yeah, all right. I'm sure it's on there.
yeah.
I actually didn't pop over there right that second either. But so Fargo Memorial Honor Guard. But what a great thing! Super buffet from 11 to 9 on
11 to
November
9
8th.
for veterans. Yep.
That's incredible. I love that it's beforehand too. So before you,
Yes.
like you said, that's a busy holiday. You're doing a lot that day, so that's not really the day to take
Right.
take time for a meal. So
And then also on next week's show, we're going to have a list of various things that are available for veterans besides our traditional stew, SOS, and beer. There's also a place that offer coffee, breakfast, things like that. And we'll
Yeah.
put that out and
Yep.
just so people can see
Yeah,
there's a
what's
lot
available?
of things available for veterans on Veterans Day. So
Yeah.
it's,
So
pretty
next
cool.
week it'll be the 9th, so you'll have it a couple of days ahead of time before Veterans Day, and yeah, I'm excited to be able to show that too. If you have something you want to make sure that we don't miss, you can email us.
Please email us.
Yes,
Yes.
valley.veterans@valleynewslive.com. We'd love to hear your questions, your topic suggestions, and it's specifically this week if you have something going on for veterans, a discount or something like that you offer. We'd love to know that so we can get that information out as well.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you again, Jason, for being
Thank
with
you,
me
Jen.
today.
And thank you, Cashway.
Yes, and thank you, Cashway. We appreciate it. We love being able to do this every week. So don't forget, you can email us, valley.veterans@valleynewslive.com with all those topics, and we will see you next week.
Next week.
Valley News Now and Cashway Distributing are partnering to celebrate the veterans of our valley. Tune into Valley News Live now on Facebook, YouTube, or the VNL app every Thursday at 1 p.m. to help us honor those who've served